Hello everyone and welcome to the Rising Giant, Incredible Journeys Behind podcast. Today with me is someone who has already been at podcast. She is one of the best forwards in German Bundesliga and also my teammate and a very good friend. Lara Prašnikar, thank you for joining me again.
Hi, yeah, it's an honor, as always.
As always, it is very nice to talk to you. Again, thank you for taking your time during the break and coming here. We've already shared your story, everything that happened up until coming to the Germany, actually to Frankfurt. So right now I'm very interested to hear and to share with the rest of the world what happened in the last 2-3 seasons in Frankfurt. I feel like you experienced everything. You went almost everything. You went from being the best scorer, being one of the key players, being one of the most important players in the Champions League as well, playing against Barca, top teams, to also sitting on the bench. Can you please share everything that happened, all the highs, but also all the lows?
I mean, yeah, sure. A quite huge season it has been. First time I think that this kind of phase happened to me. And I was like, yeah, I mean, the season started. We went into the Champions League qualifiers as years ago as well. So yeah, we were all expecting to qualify to Champions League again because we played there last year. It was amazing journey. Then we played this game. We had a quite difficult group in this mini tournament. It also was in Iceland, so we had to travel, not having the preseason because which competition it was last year? It was like what was it? Olympics?
No, it was it World Cup?
World Cup, maybe.
Yeah,
World Cup. Okay, yeah. So half of our team was in World Cup, so we had preseason practicing with the second team, not even with my teammates who play with me in the starting 11. So then they came. We had like 5 to 7 days or something like that of a training camp, and then we flew to Iceland to play against Sporting Lisbon. And for people who know how this is in Champions League, in Women's Champions League, you have to qualify through mini tournament. You have to play 2 games, so you have to win both. And if you lose the first game, you're already out. So that's exactly what happened to us. We lost against Sporting Lisbon. So yeah, the season started devastating. It was like a hard time, really. I remember after the game I cried like for 2 days. I just couldn't stop crying. I was so disappointed, having these big goals of playing Champions League, and then you're out in 1 game. So yeah, this is how it started, my season.
It's crazy because especially I feel like if you haven't played Champions League before and you don't know how it is, you just want to go there, you wish you're going to be part of that. I think it's devastating, but it's not as bad because you don't have that experience before. And especially I feel like the year before you went very far in the Champions League. I remember I came to watch you against Barcelona in Barcelona. So I feel like it's that much harder whenever you don't play at all.
Yeah, I mean, these qualifiers, that's just, I don't know who developed this kind of qualifying stage, but I mean that you're out in 1 game is just, I mean, you've been fighting the whole season to be in the first 3 spots in the league, and then you perform the whole season, then you have this 1 game and you lose. So there's no way back. You have to go in the season without 1 goal already, starting. So yeah, that was a tough time. I mean, I think that was the moment that broke me, kind of. And then I spoke to my coach, and he was asking me, what do you think you need? I'm gonna help you. You have to trust me. I'm gonna try to release some stress off your chest, because I was a leader for 3 seasons already, 4. And I think that was quite like heavy, having to lead the whole team the whole time, like being one of the most important players, developing every game. And I can say it, I had like 3 really good seasons. I played every game, I played on top. So I think if I think like back now, it's like this period is normal in every career. I think everyone comes in this phase. It's just the hard way to come out of it. That's what I'm proud of at that moment right now.
Yeah, I think we actually said it wrong. I think it was Paris Olympics last year. Anyway, especially I feel like as a professional athlete, from the outside perspective, also not just what you want, but you're just expected to be on the high every single game, every single season. It's expected to just go up. So it's obviously a ton of pressure, and we don't realize that, like everything else, career also happens in seasons, and there's time to grow and to really be on a high, but then obviously there's time where you kind of have to recover and maybe step back in order for 2 or 3 steps forward afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're in a flow, you're just kind of, everything goes so easily. You go in a game, you don't expect you to score 1 or 2 goals because you're gonna score. It's just like, it's not a burden. It's just like, yeah, I'm going in a game, I'm having fun, I'm being me. I love football, I love playing, I love showing myself to the spectators or everything. And then the ball just like finds you in a 16-meter or in a 5-meter and you just put it in the goal. It sounds that easy, but then when you come in a phase when it's not going like you want it to go, then it's like when you're about to have doubts. You're like thinking, oh wow, where am I supposed to stand? What am I supposed to do? How much do I get to like give? All these questions that when you're in a flow just don't happen, and it's just like a day and night.
And if you go really into the down the rabbit hole in this and start thinking and overthinking, I think it gets worse and worse and worse. So how did you get out of it? What happened? What did you do?
Yeah, first of all, I found myself some help. It's like, that's not a
like a secret.
Say? Yeah, it's not a secret. I mean, everyone, when I think that's like a strength of every person. If you like feel about you need help, you just find it, and then the first step is probably the hardest, to just like say, oh, I am not a superwoman or whatever. I need help as well, So I found help with a woman in Slovenia. We went through all of my problems. We talked about it. And I mean, it went not by like day or during the night that I was feeling better, but it was like step by step, and I still can say that I'm happy that this quite like short period happened very fast. So I needed like half a season to come out of it. Some other people need years, So I think I was mature enough to find help in the right moment. So I'm happy I did, and I'm happy I am that old Lara again.
Do you think that if you would not be open, maybe also nowadays we hear about mental health and like psychologists and all these people as a key part of every single professional sport. Also in general in life as well, but especially athletes on the highest level. Do you think that all this exposure helped you being okay with getting help? Do you think this is important, or how important it is to talk about those things?
Well, I already had some team psychiatrist, psychologist.
Like psychologist.
Psychologist. In my team. So that was not the first time I had like kind of person to talk to by my side. So I mean, I think I'm just an open person, you know. I can speak about things. I speak about things with my parents as well, but you know, talking to a stranger is one thing, but talking to a family member is another. So I think that's a very welcoming thing to do. So yeah, I would tell everyone, just go get help if you need it, if you feel like it, but also if you don't think that it's so important, it's good to talk to someone, you know. So I'm a person that I found help when I needed it. So when I didn't need it anymore, I just I stopped with my therapy or whatever. But some people need it constantly. So it depends of person. I think I have good standards. I also went through some phases already, so I know what to do in every single phase. So it's just about knowing yourself, you know. That's a process.
Exactly. I think it's very important to have that self-awareness, because, like you said, some people, they just work with someone whenever they're in crisis. I feel like if you work constantly, maybe you can prevent crisis. But again, if you're enough, you know, self-aware so that you recognize, okay, now maybe things are starting to go downhill a little bit, and you call someone and say, listen, you know, like maybe we should talk and get things out of it. I think that's the best thing you can do, you know. So it's not necessarily, I have to work with someone constantly every week, once a week, whatever. I think it's just knowing yourself and knowing, you know, like recognizing when you need someone and when you don't need someone.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly my case. I did that, and yeah, I mean, I have teammates who don't want any help, you know. Also young teammates, they're like, no, I don't want to talk to anyone. So it's just like, okay, if you manage your stress and everything, your thoughts alone, then it's good. But I think that once in a career, it comes time when it's good to hear someone else. You know, not everyone is lucky to have a coach who is also like that close to a player, who like supports you, who understands you, you know. And or maybe you have a coach like that, but you don't feel he wants to understand you. So it's just, it's different from person to person.
I feel like when it comes to coaches, it's actually very rare that you have a coach who's actually a true manager, you know, and knows how to manage the team and each individual. So I think it's important that you are able to find that from someone else. But yeah, when it comes especially to younger girls, I think sooner or later they realize that they probably need something, because you know, you are very lucky if you go through your entire career without any upset, without any low. I don't think that happens very often. So if nothing else, then a lot of times circumstances just force you to get help at some point. Have you ever doubted yourself in that period?
Well, of course. I mean, of course, I was like, I had a great concurrence on my places, you know, on my position.
In the club.
Exactly. And when I was on a bench, I was looking to these players and I was like, oh my God, they're so good. How am I ever going to like play before them? How am I going to do that? I mean, they're scoring goals. Why would the coach change them? You know, all these thoughts you have in your head, and then you come to a practice and you just like feel like you don't know how to kick a ball. You know, exactly. I swear that happened to me. So I was like speaking to my coach, and we had meetings, like longer meetings, when he was talking to me and also giving me kind of motivation. And he said, Lara, just go watch some of your old videos. I mean, you are the best player in the league for 2 seasons in a row. You know, you're not just anyone. You can do that again. It's not that you forgot it, you know. And, you know, when someone tells you that, you're like, oh, but you don't know how I feel. You just don't, you know, I can't do that. I'm like, and then yeah, I mean, I remember there were practices when I scored a goal in a practice, and I was calling my dad, Dad, I scored a goal. We played 11-11, I scored a goal. I was like, what the fuck? I'm happy about one goal in practice. Yeah, so that was time.
It's crazy how things can just like this turn around, and you go from self like confidence into a complete doubt. And I mean, it happened to me when I felt like anxiety. I was anxious in the middle of the pitch, and I said, oh my gosh, like the ball is flying at me, like traveling. Well, it's just someone just made a pass. And to me, it felt like, oh my gosh, it's flying, and I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that. Like complete tension, anxiety. And I was like, oh, and I called the same woman as you had, as a not sports psychologist, but yeah, as a psychologist, as a therapist. And I said, it's crazy. I've been playing football for 20 years, and I'm anxious when the ball is coming to me. I'm like, that's crazy. So it's crazy how powerful our thoughts are, and how we can like self-sabotage so easily. And if you don't address those things, then it drags, and it can be end of the career as well.
Yeah, getting the anxiety in the thing you love to do. It doesn't go together, It's just like, how is this even possible, But it happens, yeah. And I also don't know why. It's just like that. It is like it happens. So yeah, of course, how many football players, they're like on top, and then the next season they're just gone. Also like men football players. Mm-hmm. And you think about it, wow, they earn so much money, and they sit on a bench, and they don't even do anything, and then you find yourself in a position like that, and you kind of understand them, Everyone is expecting so much of you, and you're like trying, but you're just not going over this line that like yesterday was normal to go over it,
Exactly. And I feel like beside the pressure of an expectation of others, I think the worst thing is your own expectation and pressure that you put, on yourself. And I feel like this is where we get caught, because if you just step back and you're like, oh, I mean, I started to play football because I loved it, because I was just playful, I enjoyed it. And when you give yourself a permission to do that, and you don't set yourself, standards of, I don't need to score that many goals. I need to score that many goals. I need to, I don't know, play every single minute. Otherwise, I'm not good enough. I think everything else falls in place as well. But it's easier said than done.
Of course. I mean, I will never forget probably the game that was like breakthrough for me this season. It was just like a normal game on Friday evening. I think we played against Potsdam, my old team. And I kind of knew I'm going to play because I was not a starter that time, but I knew I'm going to play because we played Bayern Munich in a cup in the middle of the week, like after this game. So I was like, okay, now's my chance. I'm just going to have fun, I'm going to go in the game. I scored a hat-trick. I didn't score a goal in the whole season. It was probably already like 15 games or something. And then I played this game and scored a hat-trick. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, just because you gave yourself a permission to just have fun.
Exactly. And I was not like thinking, I have to play now very good because otherwise I'm not going to play next game. I was just like, I'm just, I scored a hat-trick, and I also made 3 assists in the same game.
Yeah, it really does depends everything on you, you know, and how, like, your head and what is going on inside.
Yeah.
All right. How, obviously, for many years now, being one of the best players, but you're from Slovenia. How do you manage to, perform in and like game in, game out, always on the highest level? And technically, let's be honest, you don't really have anyone around you who's pushing you, I don't know, maybe a strong national team behind, someone who's calling all the time and saying, oh, she needs to play. How do you manage to do that?
I think I'm just good enough.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I think that's my only luck. I'm good at doing what I do, So with my performances, I am like getting this. I don't have anything else.
You just, pretty much you earn your spot.
Yeah, I was like the best player in the team, and I didn't have the best spot in the team. And I was always like thinking, why am I'm not the star in the team? Why am I not that? And what am I supposed to do? I'm scoring, I'm assisting, I'm playing, And then I realized, it's not everything about performance, either way, So when I understood that, it kind of, now it's easier, I don't want to be a star in the game anymore because I know I'm probably not ever gonna be.
Yeah.
It's either you have it, or like the club gives you that, or you don't. So if you have someone who has this, it's always easy to look up. Like, I want to be on your space. But also I'm good now. I'm happy with the thing I have. I know I do everything for me, everything for the club I'm in, and every other stuff you don't have the power to arrange everything, It's the media, it's the national team, it's the name, it's the blah, 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 what we as a small country don't have, so yeah.
So just controllable.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm happy I play. That's my job to do, so other everything is just sometimes not possible to get.
Yeah, and it's but it's, I guess, that much harder whenever the period that you had happens, when you said I'm just good enough, but then that period comes and you're like, oh wow, am I? You start doubting. This is why it's that much harder, I guess, when those lows happen.
Yeah, no, there are players who you don't recognize in a game, or you don't see them 90 minutes, they score a goal and they're like in the news for not a week, a month, like goal of the month, everything of the month, player of the month. You're like, and you're playing and you don't see the person.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like in Italy, when I was until now, it's crazy because they give that MVP after every single game. There's MVP, and it's crazy because sometimes someone just comes in the game for a minute, literally, like touches the ball, scores, and it's MVP. Yeah. How is that possible?
In Germany, we also have that the Liga is posting, like, after every game you have like 3 players, and then the fans can decide who's going to be. I swear, I have to say that my old teammate Saskia Matthijs, she's playing for Werder Bremen now. I was laughing so hard. She's such a sunshine, really a nice person. And she posted, she was one of these 3 girls, but another one was Pernille Harder, and the second one was Lara Prašnikar, and then Saskia. And she was like, okay, I guess that's not going to be possible, Yeah, social media. It's just...
Obviously, yeah. She doesn't have the name, and
exactly.
it didn't really matter how she played. It was just...
Yeah, so it was funny. She made fun of it on her Instagram post, and I also commented on her post, and I was just like really legendary.
No, yeah, because in Italy they don't even give a chance to whoever watches the game. They choose it, and it's like a lot of times just whoever scores, done. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you play the whole game or if you just play literally like 1 minute and just touch one ball and happens to be, at the right time and the right place.
I know, it's crazy. But yeah, some people profit of it.
Exactly. How did you change through all these years, especially this hard period? Like, do you think you are a different person now, or if it changed, how that changed you?
Well, my personality is always about, like, I'm a team player, I want to help everyone around me. I want everyone to feel good. So that's why also when I was not feeling that great, when I was still playing, like before that period, I was still like looking about other persons to like feel good, passing them the balls, giving that and that and that, congratulating them, pushing them, but I felt like no one's doing that to me,
But this is hard to do whenever you are not whenever you're in a good headspace and performing and, having fun, it's easier to be positive and help it like others. Whenever you are not in a good space, and to be able to still do that, that's a huge thing, That's
but
big deal.
That was the period when I like understood that no one's doing it to me. I kind of felt alone, And then I started like changing myself, like, okay, if they're not doing it to me, why would I do that to them, And that was like turning me in completely different direction that I really didn't want to be in, It's not like that I wouldn't like give her the ball or that I wouldn't like her to score. No, it was not like that, but it was just like I also wanted that for me, But
I mean, every single thing is kind of two-directional. If whatever relationship you're in, it doesn't need to be whatever. There are relationships all over the place, Like we have a working relationship, we have a friend relationship. If the road is only one way, sooner or later this is going to end.
Exactly, yeah. But this is hard in a team chemistry,
Exactly.
Yeah, so then I was just like focusing on myself and doing that and that and that. And then I saw, okay, it's also not that good. It's a team sport. I need players around me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, then it kind of just clicked. So it was that chemistry again. And I think I really enjoyed my playing now in the second half of the season. I really felt when I scored, people around me, they were so happy, like really happy. So I saw that I mean something to them, and then it also like everything came back, But yeah, what changed is that I'm not focusing on statistic, like not at all. I scored 5 goals this season. That's still 1 goal more than last season, though, where I played the whole season. But yeah, it was so much just about a team. I just wanted this team to be in this like spots that we can play Champions League next year again. I wanted us to succeed. I was just like, I think I'm just even more of a team player than I was before, if that's even possible. But yeah.
Which is great.
Exactly. It's great. But still, I'm a striker. Everyone is like looking at me for how many assists I do, how many goals I score, how many, I don't know, percents I pass the ball good, blah, 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 blah. All this kind of stuff. But yeah, I guess that's just who I am. I was never just oriented on a goal. That's why I've never been the best goal scorer in Bundesliga, but I've been the best scorer. So you see, I have these two sides. I like to score goals, but I also like to pass the ball to my teammate. I'm probably sometimes even more happy when I make an assist than when I score a goal, So I think that's my big quality, and I kind of just, this season I like accepted it. And I'm not like crazy about just being the leader, the goal scorer, the blah, 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 blah. I am a team player.
I think that, if you're giving, then eventually it's going to get back, like you're going to get back anyway. Like the more you give to the team, the better the team is, the more you get back as well as an individual player. So, I think that I don't think it exists a player, male or female, who can play this game alone.
Yeah.
So you need your teammates. And whenever I was in AC Milan and also scoring goals, and I was the same player essentially. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said I die many times and I change and stuff, but still, it was because of the team around me.
Yeah.
That I had quality around me, so that's why it brought the best out of me as well. So I think that's a great quality, and the more you're aware of the fact that who you are and how you function, the more you can give, and I feel like essentially you get more back. And also, if you have, enough of the self-worth, you don't need external approval. You don't need people to say, "Oh, she has the best statistics," or you don't even need to, like you said, you don't look at that, because you know you're good enough anyway, with or without that spreadsheet with the goals and assists. And I think that the right environment, the right coaches, they recognize the value no matter what.
Exactly, and if the coaches recognize it, it doesn't matter what other people say anyway. It's like community thing. It's just whatever. It's a team thing. It's just like, everyone's accepting everyone the way they are, trying to grow together, doing everything together, and the other people are just spectators.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking about coaches, going to the national team, now I feel like we have a great leader there, a great coach. But you also had a period before that, before we did a switch, that was not that great. How important it is to have a great coach, a great manager, someone where who's supporting you, who brings the best out of you?
Well, first of all, you have to have that person to believe him. You have to do what he says, and if you don't believe in his words or thoughts or everything, it's not going together.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing some stuff that you're doubting. It's just, I think that's the most important. Even if the coach is bad, even if he doesn't know what he's doing, and if the team believes him, well, anything can happen. But if you don't have a team behind you as a coach, I don't think any coach is that good to have something, a result or anything, without a team. So, that's a great power of a coach that can have to have.
Yeah, and obviously with the previous setup that we had, you didn't feel great, far from that. How do you deal with that situation? Because obviously you are not the one who's choosing the coach, who's, saying who's going to lead us or who won't. But you end up in that situation. How do you manage to still give your best and work?
I mean, if that's your passion, the thing you're doing, you're always doing it 100%. So that's not a question about that. That you're going in a game, you don't want to do it or give everything. Of course, you want to give everything. But every day, every game, 100% is different. It's going up or down or down. Today, my 100% is like that. I'm tired. I'm thinking too much. I'm blah, 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 And when everything is perfect, your 100% is here.
Mm.
Of course, everyone wants to have that 100% every day. But I feel like in our old national team, our 100% was not here, even if we were giving everything. And that's just the thing you're feeling, you want to fight, you want run, you want everything. And then you're just I have this barrier here and I can't, we're trying.
Like an invisible wall.
Exactly, we're trying, we're passing the ball around the goal, we just can't score. I mean, I had a period I didn't score for 1 year for the national team. Now I have, 48 or something goals for the national team. And there was 1 year in between I didn't score.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just, you're trying to think why this happened. I was scoring in my club. It was not a bad period for me. I was in form. I was everything. But it's just something didn't let us to do that thing. And I think that is, it's a big chance that was about the coaching stuff.
And whenever you're in that situation, you just pretty much, you have to be professional and just do your job and just hope that the rest will follow.
Exactly. And luckily for us, that sometimes happened. I mean, we had to wait for how many years that this happened, but it did, I'm just so happy that we stayed together almost the whole team,
Mm-hmm.
that everyone went in the right direction, and that we are now in this position that we are in.
Yeah, it is so important, and I feel like obviously every bad situation is good for something, and I feel like we grew as a team. The girls, like I feel like we're more connected now than ever. So I think that it definitely helped the team chemistry and everything.
Yeah, of course. The bad like things or bad moments led us together. So I think that's the biggest thing that came through or out of it. This togetherness, what can lead us to who knows where. But yeah, it was not an easy period, what everyone knows. But yeah, I'm happy we went through it. We were strong enough to go against one organization or some people that before or still don't believe in women's football. That's not an easy thing to do. Alone how much energy this cost us. It was a hard period for us.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like just like some other national teams gave permission to us to do that, we are giving permission to others to do the same. I feel like as a collective, women's football is growing. Obviously now it's number one, like the fastest growing sport in the world. And yes, a lot of times we are opponents, but at the same time we're all in the same, like we're all teammates here. I feel like we're all working for the same thing, and just giving permission to everyone else to step up and to demand better.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's what we deserve, If you look from this perspective, everyone is like doing this the whole life. I'm gonna be 27. I'm playing football for 22 years already. That's a lot, And first thing that has to happen is that I have to be respected from everyone who's working with me. And if I don't have that, then that's just, it's not a good thing.
It's just not working anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like all those systems are falling apart anyway. And whatever is not supported in truth and just authentic, it's falling apart, which is good. We're in an interesting period right now.
Yeah, and I'm so happy I went through it, because we are people that like are here from the beginning, and we now can see the change, what it was and what it is. And I think that's what I'm proud of, what we all did to be in this spot now. I remember when we had this tournament in Umag, and we were playing on these fields, and we were just like, what is this, I was like, I don't know if this happened like 50 years ago or whatever, what kind of
conditions there were.
Exactly. And now we're still not happy. Of course. But there are still some steps to take care of, but we're in a good way.
No, I definitely agree. And I sometimes I hear, there was also a moment where I thought, oh, I wish I would be born later, like I would start later, like now when so much is already done. But at the same time, like, no, like I'm proud of everything that I went through. I saw before, I'm seeing now. I'm not going to say after, because I don't think that's after already. We still have a lot to do, but at the same time, I'm like being one of the people who are pulling all this forward and changing. I think it's honor, and like you said, I'm very proud of that, even though it takes a lot of energy. And I feel like it kind of like a little bit chips away from your career as well, because if you have to think about all the other stuff beside just playing it, the focus is not all there. But still, I think that thing connected us even more, and this is exactly why I feel like we're going to be succeeding sooner or later, also like qualifying for a big tournament or something like that.
Yeah, so I also think that, and I believe in it, and we have a really great chance, and I think now is the time to take it. And whenever I see that the whole staff and players and coaches and physios, blah blah blah, they all work to the same goal. It's just only good things can happen.
Very powerful.
Yeah,
Very powerful. What would you say to girls or even boys who are just embarking on international career? You know, that have maybe they don't even know what to expect, and now you've went through so many things already. What advice, or what would you say to them?
Yeah, I would just say, just go through with it. There are gonna be hard phases, but every phase teaches you something. It's about whenever you come to a problem, it's about you to decide which way you're gonna go. You have a couple of ways. One is bad, one is good, one is okay. Just try to find a good one and go through with it, because at the end everyone gets what oneself deserve, and dream big, because dreams do happen.
Well, and we are here to show that.
Exactly.
Talking about dreams, what is your next big dream? What is left there? Like, you've played Champions League, you've, like one of the best players in not just Germany but the world. Like, what is left?
Yes, just that, probably that one thing that's missing. National team, we won. I think the whole team just wants it.
Yeah.
To come to this big competition. I kind of hope that the competitions are going to expand to some more teams, that we are going to easily come in, because I think women's football also deserve that, what men's football has. If men's football has 24 teams in the European Championship, why we don't have 24 teams? It's just not fair. And I hope the UEFA is gonna see that, and that we're gonna also get to live this dream. It's probably the biggest thing that can happen in our careers.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we're talking about Europe right now, so many national teams are growing right now. It's the standard is getting higher and higher, and I think that, like you said, I think we would deserve the equal number of spots, because I think that national teams are getting good enough to be able to play on that kind of a tournament, and obviously qualifying for World Cup as well, but from Europe is that much harder, again, because it's so many countries and so many good countries. If you think about, we've played as a national team already with some of the teams that played World Cup, and we beat them. So I think that on the world level, we would deserve to play the tournament, but at the same time, just because the competition here is so high, we haven't done that before.
Yeah, and that's one thing that it pisses me off, because everyone's saying you want to have that and you want to have that, and you didn't qualify to any tournament. I'm like, would the men qualify if they would have 16 teams? I don't know.
Exactly, and not just the 16 teams, but just also without all the investment that was done. It's crazy how people expect something for nothing. It's like you would say, I want to play in Germany and be the best scorer, but I don't want to put the work in. Like, not just time, like an effort, but everything. Also the money-wise, everything. You do pay for things that, enhance you. So I think this is where we are still missing the click of changing the mentality and the perspective of we need to give first in order to get.
And I hope we're gonna have that in our career. We still have some time left, but
we're working hard for
come
that.
on.
I mean, if nothing else, we're gonna force them to do that with the results.
Exactly.
So,
That's the only thing we can do.
exactly.
Either way.
Well, Lara, I really hope that you get to qualify for one of the biggest tournaments, because then I get to qualify as well.
A win-win.
I'll stick around and wait for that. But yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing again. I think you can help a lot just by sharing yourself, because I'm pretty sure you're not the only one who's who went through certain stuff and who's living that daily. So yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for your time, yeah, thank you for being a great teammate.
Yeah, my
and
honor.
A friend, obviously.
I love to be your teammate every single day.
Now I'm going to be blushing. Anyway, thank you.
Good luck.